So the last thing that I want to talk about is the difficult one. I do want to address the speakers that were here tonight, and I have received multiple emails, multiple phone calls, multiple Facebook messages, and in-person requests concerning writing a letter to the Fairgrounds. We also, as a council or city, received a letter from Mike Powers, the CEO of Ventura County, requesting us to also write a letter to the Fairgrounds. I did not ask for people to come here tonight. Actually, the reverse is true. I was elected to represent people who live here, and so the people who elected me, or even the people who didn't vote for me, I don't know, asked me to bring this up and asked me to try to get it on the agenda. I don't know if I really want to get into the nuts and bolts of it. I don't think that's really the point of trying to get it on the agenda. The point is for us to be able to have that discussion. And that's why I would like for it to be on an upcoming agenda. I know there was a question about whether it's our jurisdiction. I think Libby Higgins brought up a really good point that I actually hadn't even thought about, that fact that we don't elect, nobody elects the board for the fairgrounds, and that it is state property, and I think we should have a say in what's happening with that state property, and I'm not sure how else we do that except to act as a city. And I do want to say that we are touched by gun violence here. We already mentioned the borderline shooting, but also in 2016 there were 3 women that were shot to death by their husband in our town. One of them was a friend of mine. Not that that makes her life any more valuable or the others less, but it does touch us. I do not think that not having gun shows is a magic bullet. I don't believe in getting rid of the Second Amendment or taking away guns from people. I'm not extreme in that sense. I do believe that doing nothing is not an answer. I do believe that we have to chip away at the gun violence culture. And I do believe this is one way to do that. So I am hoping that one of my colleagues will agree with me and support putting this on an upcoming agenda so that we can have discussion among us and get more input from the public. Thank you.
Do you want to go down with the other council comments before we address this, or should we address this right now? We could do it either way. If we do, I think what we can do is maybe ask the city manager to explain.
Okay. Currently, we have a request by a council member to put an item on the agenda. Per council policy 1.04, scheduling city council meeting agenda items, to move this onto the agenda, I need to hear at least one other council member agree to put it on the agenda, and then we can have more discussion. There's another decision point to be made after that. So I need to hear another council member assent to this idea, and then we can continue the conversation. Otherwise, it dies here.
Mr. City Attorney, do you have anything else to add to that? Is that pretty much what it is? Okay. So I'll open that up. Anyone? All right, well, we didn't get a second on that, so that move on without the lack of a second.
Can I add one thing? I thought about what would happen if this happened, so I do want people at home who's watching and you sitting out here to know that I will be writing a letter on my own as an elected official, not representing the city or the council, but as an elected official. And I urge anybody else who feels the same way to do the same thing, to reach out, to ask other people to reach out, and to speak your voice. Thank you.